welcome to the two-man booth of Through the Table.
Two
Couple
man
people,
podcast, 2-man power trip.
right? Yeah, a couple people are uh, on the Spanish announce team tonight, apparently.
They're in the arena watching SmackDown.
Yeah, but obviously, should we get it right out of there? I mean, the big news is obviously
Huge news at this point. Yeah.
right. It's Scott Hall.
Scott Hall, former member of the WWE, former Hall of Famer, two-timer, right?
Two-timer, yep.
ECW, WCW, TNA.
ECW? When was he?
ECW. That's a great point you mentioned that. He was in ECW for a couple shows when he was in between work after WCW.
As
The video is popping up everywhere on he was at
who did he go after, or who did he
he was friends with Just Incredible. He teamed Just Incredible against whoever. I don't remember who it was, but he was in ECW.
Because they're friends in real life.
Yeah.
I must have saw that, but I can't recall it right now. But you said the video's everywhere now?
It showed up right after he died. They were like, he was in ECW too. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I knew it. He came out to Fuji's the Fuji song, Ready or Not.
Okay.
Oh. That's it. That was his and Scott Hall's, his and Kevin Nash's like not NWO theme.
Well, I think that reminds me of when I believe it was me, you, and Brian that were at a house show, and then we were asked to like put down the ring
in WCW.
Yeah, and they came out to that, but then I remember, and I still have it somewhere, they gave us like Halloween Havoc shirts.
Yeah, it was actually Brian, not me. It was you and Brian and someone else, I thought. But I am not Brian, by the way. He's, as we said, he's on assignment. So
I thought you were both there.
Well, no, I wasn't there. I had I know I had knee surgery at one point. So I know I had knee surgery for ECW, but I think I really missed that WCW. I should have gone. It was in like Worcester or something.
Yeah, I remember Hall and Nash coming out to the Fugees, and it was and then I remember, I don't know how we were asked to bring down the ring, but like we were all about it. It took a long time, I remember. Yeah. And then they're like, here's a Halloween Havoc shirt from 100 years ago that you can have. Good night.
Hey, look, it's Bunkhouse Buck.
Right.
Look, like the current stars are on there.
Something that would never, ever happen ever again is like AEW, like asking fans like, oh, want to bring down the ring? Because like the someone would get hurt or land the piece of wood on your foot or something like that. And just
it would there'd be a lawsuit now.
Totally. But as you were saying, with Scott Hall, I mean, he's been everything.
He's been everywhere, every promotion basically, except for AEW. That was, I think he was. I can't be sure, but was he in Ring of Honor? No.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah, but I do know he was in Impact for a short while after the Hogan regime.
Right.
And before, like, he was in the first episodes too of TNA.
Yeah. Because get that money.
Yeah, money. So, dollar bills, y'all.
I think, I mean, obviously, people and us were fans of the WWF, WWE before him, but I recall, obviously, that very fondly, that many do. I remember getting WrestleMania 10 on pay-per-view and making a whole thing. I don't know if it was necessarily because of that match. I think it was for the whole hoopla of everything. but that match that he had with Shawn Michaels is obviously forever legendary and put him on the map that he was already on, but like that just kind of drew people more, even more to him. But
Right.
I mean, I mean, to this day, I say, "Hey yo," or like, "Hey
Who
Chico,"
doesn't?
or and just like do mannerisms or do his like little walkout
Oh, I
like
do his walk thing. He's yeah, all the time. All the
he's
time.
yeah, he's on that tier of like Hogan, you're gonna do this and the pose
Yep.
flair. He's one of the select few that you're gonna actually do their mannerisms or do their tagline or gimmick or anything like that. And that was even before he did anything in the NWO. Obviously, the NWO wouldn't be what it was without those three and what
Right.
they did before. But
And also, you got to remember he launched in AWA because he was tag team champions with Kurt Hennig
right,
before he
he's
left
been
for
around for
WCW.
he's been around forever. And then
Ever.
yeah, and then made his stamp in the WWE in the 90s with
Oh
the
yeah.
Razor Ramon, obviously, and stuff like that. I remember a couple years ago, it's probably even more than it feels like three, but it's probably close to 6 or 7 years ago. I went to the first and only time I ever went to Sundance, the movie festival in Utah. Um, the Jake the Snake Roberts documentary was coming out, and they were Jake was there, DDP was there, Scott Hall was there, and they were trying to sell the movie.
Right.
Um, and for those that have never been to Sundance, Sundance is really really tiny. It's basically um, one street where the action goes down, like a main street where you're just bouncing from restaurant to restaurant or business to business that's been rented out from these movies and having parties and stuff like that because they want to sell the movie or whatever. So I learned that um and it was also the same weekend as the Royal Rumble. So I learned that there was going to be like a viewing party with like family and friends at the condo that they had, and somehow some way I got in there, and and everybody was just like, where's Diamond Dallas Page, where's Diamond Dallas Page, because Scott Hall was there and Jake was there, and DDP's former wife was there, former Nitro girl Kimberly.
Kimberly.
And was after they divorced.
Were they
um
friends?
they were then.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if they are now, but they were then. And then the day before, Diamond Dallas Page was out and about, so like everybody was just like, the pay-per-view is starting. Where the hell's Dallas? And that was the one where he came out as one of the surprise uh people
entrance.
in the
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. So he left Sundance to go to the Royal Rumble, be in the Royal Rumble, and then he flew back to Sundance to finish like the weekend and stuff like that. But like I remember being there, just on like the sofa next to Scott Hall, and Scott Hall was just telling like story after story after story of just like him in wrestling and just like everybody, and it was just so awesome uh
I would
to,
have loved
to
to
hear
heard
that.
heard what he had to say. You know what I mean? Like that's an accomplishment. That's a great thing that you got to speak to Scott.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I for me, I mean, I as I said, he was I'm not counting fake razor. I was gonna be a jerk and be like, oh, fake razor is my favorite. But think about it. If WWE needed Scott Hall so bad, they had to replace him with someone who could try and beat Scott Hall.
Good point. I mean, that has to be in the story
Yeah.
of it, because like yeah, he was so so good for the WWF, WWE that they had to recreate them. I liked Fake Razor and Fake Diesel, so
I did
like
too.
I don't consider that I mean a, a negative at, at all. I enjoyed it, and I mean, Fake Diesel
Glenn
is
Jacobs.
Kane,
Yeah.
yeah. So stuff came out of that.
He,
um,
he went from Isaac Yankum to Diesel. That's kind of a step up.
right,
And Rick Bogner went from nothing to Razor Ramon. I mean, to Scott Hall.
yeah. So I mean, to have thought of that may have not been necessarily clever, but the way it was done was clever.
I agree.
And to find people that like obviously Rick Bogner looked more like Razor than Diesel, than Jacobs looked like as Diesel.
Right.
But they have WWE's one problem is like if they have a fake Diesel or a fake Kane, wet their hair. Just wet their hair. Because the fake Kane was cool too, and then but then he had this like afro because they didn't wet his hair, and then like Diesel, the fake Diesel, just had like the crazy hair too, and that just
Right.
brought you out of it a little bit. But we got to heal JR out of it. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, this is about Scott Hall. There's so many things that can be said about him,
I think
and
I think it's pretty scary that he died from a hip replacement, like the blood clot after the hip. Like
I
it's like
know it
Chris
sucks.
Candido. It's. I mean, there was a lot involved with Chris Candido too, but like Scott Hall was clean, right?
Allegedly, I mean, who knows? Apparently, Sean Waltman, 123 Kids, X Pac, mentioned recently in a tweet or an interview that the pandemic really kind of screwed him up a little bit.
Oh, did it?
Um, so he always had demons, obviously, that we've heard of and seen and haven't seen, but it felt like he was doing the DDP yoga as
Yeah.
of a couple of years ago, and I mean, but at the same time, all the stuff that he put himself through, that eventually catches up to you. I mean, it sucks that the it happened to be, a blood clot kind of thing, because that, I
Yeah.
mean,
But it did, like, his hard lifestyle did catch up with him.
right. And I mean, he had like 10 years ago, he had like apparently like congestional heart failure.
Oh,
And that's not good. Um, but I mean, he was clearly trying to make better of himself. And, it sucks that, you know, he went out this way, but I mean,
yeah. And
we could
everybody,
have
yeah.
been, oh, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, this could have happened 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and then it would have been equally as sad but different, because like 10 years ago it would probably been drugs, and it would have been like, like, why did you do that? Like, and then we would have never gotten the Hall of Fame speech,
Right.
and
The
everybody's
famous.
quoting that.
Yeah.
I was
Everybody's.
there for that, and that was awesome.
Well, was that Razor Ramon induction or was that NWO induction?
I think that
It
was,
clicked, right? It wasn't NWO. They've not been inducted, or have they?
yeah, it was he was inducted first,
Okay.
because
But
it was
like it
like a
was,
big deal. It was a big deal for him to be there, and he was all like, um, he was at a good place.
how many inductions has he had to the WWE Hall of Fame? Do you remember? Is it 3 or 2? So I know it was NWO, right? In the Click.
It's only two.
Oh, okay.
The Click hasn't been put
Oh,
in.
I thought they were inducted. That was my thought.
Just wanted to give my 2 cents on the Scott Hall passing. I know I'm sure everyone's going to mention Razor Ramon's gimmick. That awesome stuff he did when he first came in with all those vignettes were amazing. Great stuff. Really enjoyed that. I'm sure the ladder match with Shawn Michaels from the WrestleMania is going to be spoken about a million times. I mean, one of the best matches I've seen. I mean, I was there live at MSG there for that show, so that was really, really wonderful. But here's a deep one. I remember he was in New Japan Wrestling, and he saw something in someone and wanted to put him over. He was just a young boy at the time, and he became the future ace of New Japan for many, many years, Hiroshi Tanahashi. He saw something in him, and he wanted to put him over and make him look good because he knew he wasn't going to be a regular there. I mean, who would do that? Not many people would do that, put over somebody. I mean, he'd always do whatever you want. Remember being at a fan fest for one of the WrestleManias, and I wasn't in line to get his autograph or anything like that, but he went out of his way to pose for me so I could get a picture of him.
That's crazy. Like for me, Scott Hall, I know I bought my Scott Hall shorts recently.
Oh, nice. I was Chalk Line or somewhere else.
Yeah, chalk line. I spent the money on the black and red
I mean, they're
outsiders.
cool. They're definitely cool. I have a bunch of Chalk Line jackets, and I always look at the Razor Ramon one, and I almost bought one yesterday. I'll
Yeah.
eventually probably buy it.
Yeah,
unless
I
it
mean,
sells out.
I remember I had the kid when I was a kid. I had the Razor Ramon shirt. You know, the one that was just his face on the side and the Razor Ramon on this side.
Yeah, I think one of my first set of merchandise too was like that yellow shirt of
Yeah,
his. I definitely had the foam hand. I definitely still have the foam hand razor somewhere.
that's awesome.
That still exists somewhere.
I have plenty of Razor Ramon, not Razor, but Scott Hall action figures from the NWO. Like I have Razor too, but like I also have more NWO from every era.
Yeah.
Even
I have both. I have the Hasbro Razor Ramon like right on my wall right over
oh
here.
wow, pretty cool.
I've had
Hasbro's a
that
classic.
forever. What's that?
The Hasbro's a classic figure.
Yeah. So I have that. Um he's officially looking down on me.
Oh boy. But any weird like outpouring, like the Bret Hart was pretty good.
That was really good. Everybody was well, Kevin Owens started his promo on Raw last week with a hey yo.
Yep.
I don't know if I mean everybody talked about or tweeted about it. I don't know if AEW or any AEW superstar did anything.
They did, but I think it was a lot more subtle.
Right.
I don't remember what they did at this right now because I don't have the memory of a god. But I know they did do some references because it's Scott Hall. And then didn't someone in NXT come out with a NWO shirt? A couple people.
Say that again.
Didn't NXT someone came out with some NWO shirts?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch. I wish
now we need our Rick instead of Rick Wagner to tell.
Right. He's not there. But
yeah, so I mean there's a lot to be said, a lot has been said, and a lot more could be said. He was definitely a great mind.
Yeah, because he thought of the NWO.
Yeah, I mean the vast knowledge that he had of wrestling in his mind.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people that are the last couple of years, you know, Dusty or Pat Patterson, all that knowledge just gone. Just
Yeah.
like, and now add Scott Hall to the mix. I mean, there's gonna be we need people to carry the torch now of that, because he was obviously a fan too. Like, and he
Yeah,
knew
he
he
got it.
know yeah, he got it. He knows what works. Um, he would have been a great asset for AEW, like like to come in and like if he got his head straight to do what Jake's doing, you know, like manage and be in the back and just kind of be there
Mm.
kind of thing. So it is definitely a loss.
It is a big loss.